Today we're going to learn about texturing a slab. First you'll want to roll out a slab from the slab roller. Make sure it's at least as big or bigger than you feel like you're going to need. Then always start with your metal rib to smooth. You don't want to leave that canvas texture on there, because if you try to build a new texture on top of that canvas texture, it's just going to get mushy. With your metal rib, you're going to have to push down pretty good, but make sure that you do it nice and evenly, otherwise you'll get a stripe like I had right there. Once you have it nice and smooth, you want to choose your texture. There are two different kinds. One is an impression, which means you're going to push it in there. Okay? So this is one, or like this. Another is like this kind of texture, which is a scraping texture. Either of these kinds you can use when you're using wet clay. However, the drier the clay you get, the less successful your impression style texture will work. Okay? So, it's best to get your texture on as early as you can, and then do a little bit touch up later if you need to, because if you wait too long you won't be able to make the impressions you want. So, start your impressions. If you're using a roller like this, all you have to do is roll it. If you're using one of these that's just a random object that has a cool texture you're stealing, you're going to press it in. Looks better if you kind of do it randomly, but you also want to make a nice firm dent. If you just do it a little bit, it won't look very intentional. Now, if it's too late in the game for impressions, think about scraping. The scrapers are really great, and they're very consistent. You can even overlap scrapings. Another thing you can do is carve out with your loop tool. Carving out with your loop tool is done best when your clay is a little bit firmer. When it's wet like this, it's hard to get crisp edges, especially if you try to do small detail, because you get little furries like this. So, it's best, if you're going to do carving, to go ahead and assemble your parts and then do your carving. Make sure you do nice, smooth, even strokes. If you do get some of those furries like this, if you try to fix them right now when it's wet, you're just going to mush it in. See how it just mushes? It's best, and it's really hard to wait, though, to wait until your clay is chocolate hard or even bone dry, and then just flick those guys off. That way they can't mush back in.